Good morning, everybody. We're a little bit early, about a minute off, but we'll start at 11:05 and we'll get ready to rock and roll. All right. Talk to you soon.
Benton, Malcolm. No, that's not Facebook Live.
Hey, Alfredo,
Yes.
can you help us cast one of their laptops onto the big screen?
Give me
It's
a
gonna be
few.
few of us.
I have to get the next class started first.
Okay.
Benton. Find your.
Morning, Alfredo.
What's up, Jared? How are you?
Good. How was your weekend?
It was fine. I'm just trying to catch up, but I didn't. I just missed out on a lot. But I chose to not do a lot of things, which is putting me in a pickle. But I'm okay.
Sometimes you need a little mental health break.
Yeah.
Day.
I just didn't want to do some homework, and I have enough where I'm just gonna keep my A, but I just didn't want to do homework this weekend.
Hey, man, C's get degrees, so
Yeah, right. I'm pretty sure I have enough where it's okay.
I think you're good. All righty. So everybody who's just joining on, I just wanted to wait for everybody to hop on in. So we'll officially start at 11:05. But in the meantime, has anybody, before we go over our numbers and start reporting, is there any awesome news that anybody wants to report? Did you do some cold calling? Did you, get a client this weekend? Did you, I don't know, sign a listing? Whatever's clever. Anybody? Or anything that went wrong that you want to share and discuss before we go over our numbers?
I have a potential buyer, I guess. My first one, so I'm happy about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
How did you get this buyer?
Well, I was speaking with them. They're a relative of mine, and I was telling them that I'm in this business now, and um they said that they were actually looking to buy a home. They live in a condo right now in the Wilshire corridor, and they wanted to move into preferably a bigger home. And so, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said that because you not only got a buyer, you also got a seller.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I like to talk about these things. So whenever, there we go, somebody says that they want to buy or upgrade something to something new, the conversation that I always like to have is, well, do you need to sell your house before you're able to do that? So for example, when you buy a new house, there's, your down payments, earnest money deposit, all these other different factors that have to be you typically put into play for it to be, a viable, option for them.
Yeah.
Now, of course, some people's finances are completely different. they got money in the bank, they're good to go, and they don't even need to sell their house, frankly, to be able to do that. So, this is an opportunity for you, Davina, to have a conversation with them. Ask them, have you thought about selling your house? Do you need to sell your current condo rather to move into this house? And then if they say, yeah, but I don't want to sell my house until I find something that I love.
Yeah.
I've heard that a million times. And I'm like, great. So are you aware of how, Davina, are you aware of how competitive the buyer's market is right now?
I probably not as much as it is. No.
Sure.
How competitive is it?
Very. Inventory is still close to an all-time low.
Yeah.
I think it's getting a little bit better, frankly.
Yeah.
But inventory is very, very, very low. There's a record amount of buyers in the market due to the very, very low interest rates. So that's creating this crazy microcosm of an environment, especially in Los Angeles, where all the prices are super, super high, which is probably why your sellers are thinking of selling or buying, excuse me.
Yeah.
Yet the interest rates are super low. So it's a great opportunity for people to boot up. So what I would recommend to them is get into the conversation with them and just say, listen, you said that you would like to buy. I get that. To get there, do you have to sell before? And they may say, oh, no. We'll sell when we find something that we like. Be like, great. Here's what tends to happen when you do it that way. You end up finding something that you love, but somebody has already sold their house and found the exact same place that you love. And all of a sudden you say, great, I want to write an offer on this house. You write an offer, even if it's $100,000 over asking, but it's contingent on the sale of their home. Whereas the other person also wrote $100,000 over asking, and they don't have to sell their home because they've already sold it.
Yeah.
And in fact, they're more motivated because they just closed escrow and they're renting at an Airbnb. So that if I was a listing agent, I would take that offer over the other one all day, every day, hands down, without even a question. So this is a great opportunity for you to go ahead and grab that listing and get 2 sales instead of just 1.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna bring up that conversation to them. They're not like really in a rush, so it's been like a little bit slow with them, but I've been sending them a lot of options that they've liked a few. There was one of them that they really loved, and when I called to make an appointment, it was actually an escrow. So yeah, but it's good. I'm excited.
There we go. Awesome. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
If you have something to discuss, I'm happy to help you out. Do you have a mentor?
Yeah, Michael Eisenberg.
Oh, he's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. So holler at him about that because he'll give you a lot of good advice.
Yeah.
Awesome. So excuse me, everybody. I'm eating my breakfast right now. Very cool. Does anybody else have anything that they want to share over the weekend? Some really cool, maybe you got a client, maybe you got a listing, maybe you got shut down while you're cold calling, whatever's clever. Sometimes
I have a situation.
Give it to
Hi.
How
How are you?
I'm
I'm
great.
good. Wait, it's breaking now. Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, so I have a situation in the house I'm selling, which is like kind of stressing me out.
Sure.
So the house was selling in 1.149. Okay. We got an offer from 1.125, which is good. My client accepted the offer. He said it will be good.
Okay.
But then the house, the garage is kind of ready to make an ADU. And the people who wants to buy, they want to pay 45,000 more, but because my client is a builder, so it's easy for him to build and do all the construction work, but it will take some time, like 3 months. So we were coming like back and forth with that, and it's really stressful. We did a counter offer last week. It's not worth it, I think, for my client to be going back and forth to finish the work like in 3 months from now. He wants to move on.
Well, yeah, if it's going to take 3 months, I'm trying to think, you know, what type of ADU do they want? And like, are plans drawn? Like, do they have architectural sets? Like, I don't think that that makes sense. And I agree. You know, I would almost say, well, how about we, you just go ahead and hire my services after we close?
Yeah, that was, but because he wants the loan, he doesn't want to put money from his pocket, the buyer, so he wants to get that included in his loan.
Here's the issue with that.
Yeah, right?
The lender might not allow that.
Yeah, that's what we were like, well, we were talking with Justin about it, and it's just, I'm just so exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I personally, for me, I would say, listen, you know, we're in the business of selling houses, not, you know, being contractors. And, you know, whatever side deal that you two want to do, go ahead and, you know, feel free to do that. You know, he is a contractor, he has his license. So if you wanted to do an additional side deal for a certain amount of money, that's more than fine. But, you know, committing fraud against the lender is not something that I would ever recommend. You know, because technically that goes into that, you know, kind of space. If you're not telling the lender that this is what the money's for, there's a lot of liability issues there, in my opinion. But, you know, check with Justin.
Yeah, we did a counter offer and we took the partial contingency off.
Okay. Well, you know what? This one's a little bit over my head, so I will defer you to Justin. Is that your mentor?
Yes, he's helping me. But
see, in my opinion, I would say there's too much risk involved in there. Let's say something goes wrong with the build. They find out, you know, in fact, the foundation is crap and they have to redo it, and they have to go through the city, and all of a sudden it ends up costing more. It's too much liability on that, because first and foremost, you're getting the money from the lender. And unless the lender is aware that this is in fact a purchase with a construction loan attached to it, then it's not exactly on the up and up. And, you know, I wouldn't do that personally. That's just me.
Okay.
Somebody else may say otherwise. And if that's tell you how to do it properly, go for it. But I wouldn't. That sounds a little bit interesting to me. But good stuff. Fascinating. Wow. Yeah. That sounds pretty cool.
It's a lot to learn. And when we were doing the counter offer with Justin, I'm like, well, I don't have a normal offer like a normal people. Like, I have to be dealing with all these contingency situations.
I hear you. You know, little share for the class. You know, I'm going through an escrow right now where so we were supposed to close last Monday. So a week ago, 7 days ago, we were supposed to close escrow. And all of a sudden, I get a call from my escrow officer in our office, Pele, and she goes, "Did you know that one of your sellers is out of the country?" I'm like, "What? One more time?" It's like, "Yeah, apparently he moved there 3 months ago and didn't tell anybody, and he's in the Philippines." Well, here's the issue. It's okay to have the grant deed signed via notary when you're out of the country at the embassy via an apostle, but the issue is because of coronavirus, the embassy's closed for the next, 3 weeks. So we can't close on this deal for another 3 weeks, apparently. So that was interesting. Now, in the meantime, I have the buyer's agents who are trying to get me to agree to use another title company, because the whole issue is signing off on the grant deed. And the County of Los Angeles, the recorder's office, will not accept a notary unless it was done in person. They don't accept virtual notaries. However, another title company is saying that, well, there's a way to go around that. You go ahead and you have it done, the notary done in Las Vegas, and get it completed that way through our sister company in Las Vegas. And then we take that and we submit it into LA County. And because it's coming from Las Vegas, they accept it for some reason or whatever. So we're going through a lot of crazy stuff. And so LA, the reason why I'm telling you this story is all deals, there's something crazy attached to it. There's something weird that comes up. And that's the beauty of real estate. You know, each and every single deal has its own little specific intricacies. And you know, that's why we have such a great office, is because we have such a mend of all the minds that we're always usually able to figure out what the best solution is for any given problem. So I've had some interesting deals this week, to say the least. So it happens, but very, very, very interesting. Good job. Okay, so we are fully into our time right now. So let's go ahead and start our daily numbers. I'm gonna start just on the right side of my list. Greg Anthony, how are you today? You there, Greg? Going once, going twice. Sold. All right. Greg, you might be on mute, but I can't tell.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was muted.
Oh, there we go, buddy. All right.
So I actually don't have any new numbers for this week.
No worries, bud. Yeah,
But I did want to ask you, so I believe it was the first class last week. You mentioned a very inexpensive or suggested some type of platform where I can get like leads a certain amount for a month. I can go in and like do the demographics and stuff like that. What was the name of that?
not demographics. You can do geographic areas. Demographics
Okay.
is a little bit tough in real estate.
Yeah.
For some reason, you know, you might want to just get it by age, you know, but then you're being ageist. It's kind of weird in that regard. But you can do by geographic zone, and you can do a neighborhood search. So the one that I was talking about was Mojo Sells, and I'll put it in the chat over her.
All right. Awesome. Thank you.
So, certainly, Mojo Sells. And just go ahead and Google that and it should come up. And so what it is, Mojo Sells is an auto dialer. It lets you dial like 3 lines at a time. So you can get through 100 calls in like, well, let's just say, you know, you have long conversation, that might be different. But in actual dialing time, it might take you 20 minutes. You know, obviously you might be on the phone with people for 20 minutes at a time, but the actual amount of time it takes you to dial all those numbers, it's just like 20 minutes. So everybody has 20 minutes in a day, I promise you. So it's a really, really great tool to add to your little toolbox, your realtor toolbox. But then again, keep in mind though, it's about $250 a month to have the auto dialer and the neighborhood search. The neighborhood search by itself is about $40 a month. So you can also get a single line dialer, which you can upload your call list to. And that's also very effective, and it's a little bit more cost effective as well. So I would check that out also. But I don't know the price on that one, but it's a great option. It just keep in mind, it costs money. So if you're not using it, it's a waste.
Got it.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Greg.
Thank you.
Davina, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I am well. We spoke earlier. So tell me more about your numbers. How did you get them? How many did you call? How many?
I think I called maybe 10 people since the weekend. I mean, since our last class.
Nice. Excuse me.
And yeah.
And yawning. 10 people. How many did you talk to?
I mean, like, yeah, I've spoken to 10. Maybe
okay.
I've called like 20.
Awesome. So the reason why we want to go ahead and write how many people we called, how many people we talked to, is if we're really actually, you know, setting time aside and marking it and noting it, we're able to come up with numbers. How many people do I need to call until I get like a lead? Meaning like your business becomes predictable.
Okay.
So it's a very powerful tool. It's a bit, you know, pain in the butt, but you know, it really helps you. So good stuff. Awesome, Davina. Ellie, how about you, my friend? Where'd you go?
I'm here. Sorry, I was checking my computer. I have 10%. I did 42 and 5%, and maybe another person who wants to buy, who wants to see the other home and it has no realtor. So hopefully I can find something for them too.
Awesome. And how many did you talk to again? So sorry.
5. I spoke to 5. I mean, like back and in total 42, but back and forth 5.
Awesome. Good job. Good job. And I think you were on the last one too, so I need to mark that down as well.
Yeah, I was in the last meeting, but I had to leave quick. I
Gotcha.
think like after like an hour, I had to go.
Awesome. Well, good job. Thank you for sticking with it. All righty. Austin Grant, what's up, bud?
What's going on, people?
Pretty
How you doing?
good. Were you in the last class or is this your first class?
This is my first Ignite class with you. Yeah,
Bud?
I'm with Kristen usually the rest of the time, but yeah, I'm excited to be here. I apologize for the skateboarding. I'm on my way to pick up my car that's in the shop.
Nice. No worries, bud. So
But yeah, I have some numbers I'd like to talk about.
absolutely, man.
Not much about like leads or anything like that, but I'm a pretty successful person on TikTok, and I recently changed my entertainment account to a real estate account. And so I'm going from real estate, comedy, and it gathers a lot of attention. So I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait to go into the office and film some with the scenery and hopefully get some of the people in there that want to do something fun with me on camera and create some free content for people to see.
Awesome, man. That's great. I don't know too much about the TikTok platform. I
It's
often joke.
Probably the best way to get followers or any type of following. You just have to come across as if you can teach something or you can offer something or just be
Right.
something exciting and people will listen.
Yeah, my girlfriend often jokes that I'm like a boomer in a millennial's body. So go figure. But very cool, man. How many people do you interact with back and forth on that thing? Do you believe?
Well, I have 12,000 followers. I've had it for a few months now. And I go live almost every night. It's where you can just talk to your audience and people come in. It's like half of them are like children, but the other half really are people aspiring to do well in business and other type of content creators. Like my friend who's a marketer, she just started on TikTok and has already accumulated 30,000 followers and very consistent clients through her marketing and copywriting company. And she's been helping me out a lot, and I've been really seeing a difference with my communication business.
That's awesome, dude. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's all I can offer right now.
Attaboy. Very
All right,
cool.
well, see you guys later.
Cheers, bud.
Cheers.
All righty. So, Greg, Davina, then we did LA. We just did Austin. Denver. How you been, Denver?
I've been good. How are you?
I'm swell. Crazy news over the weekend, but I'm good.
What happened over the weekend?
Some people stormed the Capitol. No big deal.
Oh,
Well, it wasn't the weekend. I guess it was last week, but we were actually teaching this class. It was Wednesday, wasn't it? So I didn't notice it when it happened. So I kind of caught up over the weekend, and I was like, "Whoa, dude, these people are nuts." Denver. I probably shouldn't talk politics on this, but okay, Denver. How was your calling? How many people did you contact?
I reached out to a few family members because I'm still in the process of getting everything started up, but I did call 10 people.
Cool. Nice. And how many people do you actually connect with?
8.
Oh, girl. Nice job.
Thank you.
Anything come out of those conversations? Any leads? Any fun stuff?
No, they said they'll just keep me in mind.
No worries. Keep at it.
Yeah.
Eventually you'll hit it. It's a numbers game. The more you call, the closer you are to that yes. So good job.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Cheers. Absolutely. Serena. Do I have Serena on here? You might be on mute, Serena.
I unmute. Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Good, thank you.
Ah, good. So is this your first class?
Yes.
Oh, Saren, not Serena. Saren.
Serene. Yeah, it's Serene.
Ah, close enough. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Awesome. So let me explain what we're doing right now. So the more you do these classes, the reoccurring theme. The more we reach out to people, try to talk about real estate. It's called lead generation, and one of our daily 10-4s that we do is we want to at least by minimum reach out to 10 people per day and at least talk about real estate in some fashion or another. It could be extremely direct about real estate, like, "Hi, my name's Jared. I'm with Keller Williams, Beverly Hills. I want to sell your house." I wouldn't suggest doing it that way, or it could just be simply reaching out to your friends, your family, asking how their day was, what's new with them. They tell you about their work, and all of a sudden they go, "What's new with you?" But well, actually, funny you should ask. I just got, I'm in real estate, and oh, by the by, I don't know anybody's looking to buy or sell. I'm looking for more clients.
Nice.
A contact. So what we're trying to do is right now I'm going to ask you, how many people per day could you commit to proactively reaching out to conversation about real estate?
Per day from the people I know, I can call, I don't know, like 5 per day.
5 a day. I like it. And that's 5, 10, that's 35. Awesome. Very cool. Great to have you in the class, Saren.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I think actually it's different, Sarah.
Oh.
There's, I guess, 2. So I'm the one, Seren Yavuz. And I think she's different.
Oh, okay. SK is the other Saren, and you're the. Wow. What do you know? That's funny. What's up, both Sarens? All righty. So let's do the. SK, Saren SK. I'll just write in SK. Awesome. This is the first time I've met a Saren in my entire life, and I have 2 on the same call.
I'm surprised too.
That's awesome. Awesome. I swear we're in a simulation. It's great. That's another combo. Okay, awesome. So I'll give you 3. And Saren, the original Saren I was trying to talk. Yeah, how do I pronounce your last name?
Yavuz.
Yavuz. Okay. How about you? Or is this your first class?
Yeah, it's my first Ignite class. I've been to Power Session before.
Nice. And how many contacts can you commit to reaching out to per week?
I'm really, really new, so I didn't make any phone calls, but I told people that I know. So all 3 of them are looking for places. One of them look for a beach house. One of them looking for like investment 1-bedroom apartment. And the other one is like a house with like, I don't know, like 2,000 square foot house. They don't have a rush. I know that. They are just like, if you find it, yeah, we will work with you.
I love it. Very cool. And how many can you commit to doing per day, per week?
I can commit like 10 people per day. I can call 10 people at least.
Beautiful. Awesome. So that would be 70 per week. You can do it. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, I already have 3 there. Okay.
I just honestly like don't know how to find the people to call. I would have the help. I mean, I didn't even meet my mentor yet. So today I will talk to her, Jennifer.
Nice.
So I'm sure I will find a way. Otherwise, I'm committed. I just don't know how to find all these people to call.
So that's why we're in this class. This class goes over all the different ways you can kind of build your business. In fact, I believe this is the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have it up right now, but oh well. We'll go to it again. But anyway, so that's the whole purpose of these classes. We discuss, scripts, dialogues, how to reach out to people, how to reach out to your sphere, how to reach out to people you don't even know, and stuff like that. So you're in the right place, and we'll get rocking and rolling in no time. So plug in and we'll figure it out together. How about that?
Okay, thank you.
Cheers, cheers. Okay, so moving down the list, who do I got? Brianna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How was your weekend?
It was pretty good, kind of slow. I think the last time that we talked since then, I focused on doing like the rekindling the old friendships and stuff, like the hard people you're talking about, and they actually went a lot better than I expected. And one of the people is actually an agent, so that was pretty interesting. But yeah, so numbers, I probably contacted 6 people and they all replied, whether that was the text after I called them or if they just called me back on FaceTime or something like that.
Nice. I love it. That's awesome. And it all went pretty positively?
Yeah, no burned bridges or anything like that.
Hey, I've burned a few in my life. So. But I always tell people, it's a little scary to reach out to people that you're like, oh shoot, we kind of on weird terms. But you know what? Usually that person's thinking the same thing, like, man, I wish I could, or darn, I wish I could reach out to that person, but it's awkward. And when we do it, it just makes you seem even cooler. So
That's
good
true.
job.
Thanks.
Awesome. All righty. Ari, Salinas. Again, I can't tell.
Okay.
Sorry
about that.
You don't have your video on. I don't know if you're muted or you're just off doing errands. So make sure if we are trying to talk, make sure we take our mute off. But all right, Ari, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, bud. How did your weekend go, and how many contacts did you make?
My weekend went kind of slow. From like the 5 people that I tried calling, or like from the people that I tried calling, I only did talk to 5. But my cousin who was like one of the people that I talked to, she's going through a divorce, and if she does end up going through it, then she might have to like move back here. She's in Washington right now, so she might have to like move back here to Orange County. So I'm hoping she gets divorced.
Right? Exactly. Everybody, we love people that divorce. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then I think her husband or her ex-husband, whichever they are right now, he might also have might move down to the LA area, just so it's like they could keep like like their kids like kind of nearby, but still be living their different lives and stuff.
Right.
So I'm hoping that all kind of works out for me.
Awesome. I just have to interrupt real quick. George, you are always looking sharp, my friend.
It's my uniform.
I love it.
Thank you. No, thank you so much. And that's all I have. If I wish I have some t-shirts and sweats, but that's all I have.
Don't you dare ever say that. I forget. Carl something or rather. He said sweatpants are a sign of defeat.
Oh, but sometimes it's comfortable though. But yeah, no, I understand.
I'm wearing sweatpants right now with a collared shirt. So
hey, you're closing. That's the thing. You're closing some deals in sweatpants is another level.
Better know, man. Got to rock out sometimes.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Ari, thank you so much for sharing. You're kicking butt, and I would like to say, we love when people get married. We love when people get divorced just as equally, because that's just sales. So good stuff. Awesome. Good reporting. George, you're next. You're right under Ari, so that's perfect timing. How was your weekend one, and how was you reaching out to all your sphere of influence or cold calling or whatever you've been doing?
So I had 25 calls, and I have conversation of 7 of them. However, I have good return of one of the posts that I did for my community, which is the Brazilian here in LA. And a lot of them reach out back to me looking for business. Some of them is leases, but it was a good return of the post, which is the Facebook on a group. So it was a good one.
I love it. Nice. Listen, I'll be honest, I hate leases. but we do them anyway. Because people who lease places, and very often, more than not, turn into buyers, eventually. Or have an opportunity to work with a owner who wants to lease it out. So you're the listing agent for the lease. That person is likely going to buy a place someday. So, or investment properties. So, or sell that property because they're not making enough of a profit. So, we always want to keep in mind leases can be amazing opportunities. Keep in mind though, I highly recommend, because I've been taking more leases this year than I like to do typically. So I always recommend taking a day or two to kind of systematize how you handle leases. I will be completely honest. I handle a lease much, much differently than how I would handle a sale. It's much more systematized. I have emails that are already saved that I just copy paste into a thing, and with instructions of how to fill out the application, and because I don't want to have it waste too much of my time. Because when you post a lease listing, I have a lease listing over in Carson right now. I just sold the place and now I'm renting it. I probably have 300 emails and requests for applications for the property. And I can't, even with copy and pasting emails of like, this is how you apply, here's the application, please fill it out, get it back to me, with all this
Still
stuff.
a lot of work.
It's still a whole bunch of work, and I'm still not going to get to everybody. Like, I'm kind of picking the people who have already said, here's my credit score, here's my this, here's my that, here's my phone number, or people who are calling me actively, people who just like send me an email. Like, I'm not really getting back to those people. So my point is leases are great, but in the interest of your own time as an agent, try to systematize it as much as you can. That's my huge advice.
So my thing was, just very quick to not take too much of your time, the problem that I'm facing mainly with the Brazilian community, that most of people that come to Brazil, like me when I came, they don't have the right documentations even to make the application of the lease. So that's the only thing. So a lot of people are, if I can tell you how many leads I could help right now, I could help almost like 5 to 7 people to close a lease transaction. But the problem with them 5 to 7, one of them only have the full documentation for the application, So that's the only thing that I'm facing the problem. So what I've been doing is, I try to see whoever have the most document. If that person doesn't have so much document, I try to help sending them to the best app of renting, and I can answer any questions, but that's pretty much it.
I very often go to Westside Rentals and I just go, this is who I recommend you go to. Like, they'll help you out. But absolutely, yeah, 100%. Thank you very much for sharing, George. It's awesome.
Thank you.
I think, who else do I have? My list, my order just messed up. Grayson Diggs. Grayson Diggs. Grayson Diggs?
Hi, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm quite well. How was your weekend?
Good. Kind of slow, but I did make some calls. I contacted 5, and 1 have a potential move from New Jersey. Yeah, from New Jersey.
Jersey.
They're planning on moving out here in LA, probably a year or so, but.
That is awesome. Well, that is a perfect opportunity for us to create an opportunity in Command and put them on a drip campaign. And I don't know if you were, I think you were on the last one where we do like the 8x8 and the 33 touch. This might be a perfect person to go into a 33 touch campaign. And it automatically will like send them emails, prod you to send them a text just to check in. and all that kind of stuff. So all good stuff, Grayson. That's awesome. Is it Grace or is it Sin or is it Grayson?
Grace, Sin, and Diggs. So
Okay.
Sin's my last name, and I got married, so I kept my maiden name. So
Okay,
it's
so you're-
Grace and Diggs. Yeah.
Grace. So I'll just call you
Yeah.
Grace, not
Yeah.
Grayson. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. I'm a little bit slow sometimes, obviously, as you can tell. So Grace, I don't have how many calls you can commit to per day and per week.
Oh, last time I think I said 3, but I could do 5. I could do 5.
I like it. That's how we get the results. Awesome, Grace. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, did I get you for the attendance? Yes, I did. Okay. Cornell, how are you, bud? Cornell Galambos?
Yes, sir.
Hey, buddy. How goes it?
I am great. How are you?
I'm quite well, thank you. Are you new to the Ignite class?
Yes, I am. I just joined last week on Wednesday.
Awesome, man. Welcome. Is that an N? Yeah, okay. Cornell.
Yes. Like the University of the K.
Awesome. So, have you gotten the gist of what we're doing right now?
Not yet. This is my actually first Ignite because I missed the last week ones.
No worries. So part of what our big thing that we like to do, we have like this little compass that we've created in Keller Williams, and it's called doing your daily 10-4. And one way to just ensure that you're always, in action, looking for new clients, trying to get more business, is you do what's called your daily 10-4. So if you can't do anything, you're just swamped with life. You're going to your friend's wedding. You're just busy. You can't really do much. But you gotta get something in the day. You do your daily 10-4. And if anybody can help remind me, because I'm just so forgetful, what is our daily 10-4, Ellie?
Hi, I'm here back. It's 10 calls and 4 contacts every day, right? Yes, at least
No.
minimum.
Almost. Almost. So, okay, it's going to be 10 calls or contacts per day. So we're going to reach out proactively to try to contact 10 people per day. Then we're going to add 10 contacts into our database. We're going to write 10 handwritten notes or text messages or, whatever, to maybe the people that we talked to the day prior. And then we're going to preview 10 properties per week. That's the only one that's per week. And the reason why we want to preview 10 properties is we just want to know what's happening in our neighborhood. We want to know what's happening in the area that we are trying to do business in. And if you're new, you could just do LA County if you wanted. But usually people will zero in on a neighborhood, a geographical area that they like to focus on. For me personally, I like to focus on West Los Angeles, where I grew up. I grew up right on Beverly Glen and like in between Santa Monica and Wilshire on Beverly Glen. I love that area. It's like the Upper Fairburn School District. I like to, kind of try to keep my, contacts fresh in that location. And then I also do Bel Air because I've had a few sales over there and I love Bel Air. And I have quite a few clients up there just from over the years. It seems I do pretty well in that location. So those are my geographic farms. So anyway, but that's what our daily 10-4 is, Cornell. So every single day, how many contacts could you commit to doing?
The 10 is not an issue because I'm actually in the industry. I'm a door and window supplier. I've been doing that for 7 years. So I'm on the phone day and night with builders, contractors, homeowners, because we are doing remodeling projects for them. I help builders to do new construction projects because I supply the doors for them. Feel free to check out my website, Luxury Doors Gallery. So I am always in contact with all of these people.
Did everybody hear that? That was a pitch right there. And that is awesome. I love that. Cornell, you're going to do great in this business. A lot of people don't realize I was in construction before I got into real estate. I was a senior project manager. So Cornell, if all else fails in real estate, if you're hiring, give me a call. Absolutely, man. So, construction, people in construction, we are typically very proactive with how we reach out to contractors. We reach out to, a lot of GCs and architects and whatever, and we ask for bid sets and plans, and we try to get in on it. We want to see their finish schedules and all this fun stuff. And by doing that, we kind of got used to proactively reaching out to people. So once we got into real estate, which I'm sure is going to be, what's the case for you, Cornell, it's going to be really easy. You just know you got to do it. That if you want business, you got to be proactive. You got to reach out. So good job. So how many could you commit to per day, proactively reaching out and talking about real estate?
Let's start with the 10.
Perfect. I love it, man. Very good. Welcome aboard. Good to have you.
Thank you. And just to throw it out there, I already have a builder friend of mine who is looking for an investment property between 800,000 and $1 million, Woodland Hills, Sherman Oaks, Encino area. So if anyone has anything,
I have. I will send you my phone number and we can talk about it.
Sure. You can find me on
Okay.
Instagram as well, or I'm just gonna write in the chat my contact and email.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Awesome, man. I just to interrupt real quick. I have this squirrel who walks in front of my window right here, and it scares the crap out of me. So if I jump, he does it every day whenever I sit at my desk. He scares me. Anyway, so very cool. Awesome, Cornell. Thank you. David Mahara.
What's up, Jared?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good, man. And yourself?
I'm hanging out, Hey, how many contacts did you make since Wednesday?
So I did 5 total, just because I don't know where exactly to get like leads for sale by owners or for rent by owners, where I can just call proactively every day, so I can have like a list of contacts. But I did reach out to 5 past leads that I had from when I first started when I got licensed in real estate. And it's 4 buyers and 1 for sale by owner. I just called them again. I did the follow-up that I switched offices, and I'm now at Keller Williams. And they're still on the edge of, not knowing when to buy. And then the for sale by owner, he wants to move to San Diego, but his wife is not ready because all the kids moved out of the house already, and they have a 6-bedroom, 4-bath, and it's only them 2.
Nice. How did it? So that's great. Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah, I just can't for the buyers. I can't seem to explain away that they're waiting for the foreclosure wave to happen, where homes are just gonna plummet, and it's not the case right now. And it's kind of hard to not put my wall up and say no, you're wrong in a nice way, or try to get them to understand that it's not going to happen, because technically I'm supposed to be the expert, but other experts are saying otherwise.
Well, what other experts are saying this? Ask him. Let's role play that real quick. Hold on 1 second. I need to grab something. What I do in those situations is kind of role play it. Because I've had this happen to me a lot of times, and it's very frustrating. And sometimes people just have a belief, and that's fine, but sometimes we have information that contradicts their belief. So whenever somebody says that, I go, great. And who gave you that information? Just out of curiosity, because maybe I need to be talking to somebody different. If they have some info that I don't have, maybe I don't know. I'm just vamping right now. But, I asked who that person was. And, did you ask that by the way, David?
Well, I asked one of them because I got that same answer from like 3 out of the 5 people that they were waiting for homes to go down. One of them said foreclosures are coming up. And, what I kind of throw in there was, since if homes do drop, in price, or there's a wave of foreclosures, then it's probably going to be a little bit harder to get a loan unless you're going to pay all cash for the house. And then I would just kind of throw in there, like, did you plan on paying on cash, or were you planning, to finance the entire home price? And then that's when, I got a negative response from one, like where they kind of, waited for a long pause. I was like, because if homes right now are selling fast, and interest rates are low, that's a good thing. Like you want to buy now, and it's, especially if you come in with a strong offer, your dream of home buying, would come to a reality. And I didn't ask, where'd you hear it specifically, but one person did tell me that they heard on the news.
Interesting. So
one person was like, "Oh, I've been hearing it on the news," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, it must be something that I'm missing out on because I see otherwise." Or actually, I said the market, from what I see in the market is this, and then I would explain the whole scenario.
So interesting. So evictions are always very different from foreclosures. They're talking about on the news quite frequently. A lot of evictions are going to happen, and then a pundit will say, "Yeah, and if evictions happen, we could see a lot of foreclosures." Well, here's the issue with that. If all these evictions happen, that's one thing. But the ability to rent out these properties is another. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of interest for a lot of people trying to get, more competitively priced rentals. And if a landlord has a property that they've been trying to get rent on for a long time, and they've been missing out, they'll accept, frankly, a couple $1,000, or maybe not a couple, but $1,000 less than they were used to getting, or something, or maybe $500 less than they were used to getting, or 200, depending on the price range. So just because there's evictions doesn't always necessarily equate to foreclosures. That might just mean a correction in lease rental prices. So the other thing is why would a landlord who's a business savvy, woman or man, just go into foreclosure? They wouldn't. They would end up just selling the property. So again, that doesn't make sense. So there might be an opportunity that in the next coming, couple of months, that they could see some, more competitively priced homes or duplexes hitting the market. But I wouldn't put my money on that, because all the experts have already stated, and this comes from the National Association of Realtors and a bunch of, analysts, have looked at the Fed, and they looked at what's happening with the Federal Reserve, and they're predicting home prices are going to raise by, I believe, 5 or 6% in 2021, and an additional 3% respectively in 2022. So for the next 2 years, we're looking at a considerable home price sales. But then also the Fed was referring to is interest rate, and they're only seeing it going up by by most a percentage point over the end of the year, which is nothing. That's nothing. If we go up by a percentage point, we're still below 5. And if you remember the 80s or 90s, even 80s and 90s, we had double-digit interest rates, 10s all the way up to 20%, I believe, one of the years. So I mean, I don't know where they're getting their information from, but it doesn't sound accurate to me. So I would definitely prep yourself, go back to them, ask them where they're getting their information from. And if they say the news, just be interesting. Were they talking about evictions, or were they talking about foreclosures? Because those are two different things.
Well, the person that said that was foreclosures, but they could have easily confused, evictions with foreclosures. But the whole eviction thing, because I try to stay away from the news as much as I can, the whole eviction thing didn't come to my head, which that would have been a good, objection handler, I guess.
Yeah, always ask that by the by, because sometimes people get a little bit confused when those conversations come up. But very good, man. That sounds like you had a good job reaching back out to a bunch of those people. So
yeah.
Awesome. And also remind them that interest rates are much more important than home prices more often than not. So that's a big one too.
Yeah.
All righty, Angela Cross, I apologize. I saw that you were raising your hand for a question and I didn't get back to you right away. How can I help you, my dear? And how are you? How was your weekend?
Okay, sorry. It was fine. Thank you.
Good.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. So to get my numbers in, I have like one client. So I've been contacting that one client. I have a buyer.
Awesome.
My question is though, I've been getting a couple of different answers to this question. So maybe you can clarify. When you say to go preview homes, are we allowed to record and put on social media, hey, previewing home listed by such and such?
Absolutely. I would ask for permission first. I don't always ask for permission, but yes, you're allowed to do it though. Technically you're supposed to ask for permission first though. Ask for permission from the listing agent. Hey, is it okay if I record this, post it on my social media? I think my, friends and family would love this place. So I just want to get it out to the world. And 99% of the time, the agent's going to go, absolutely, sure, 100%. So, yeah.
Okay, great. That's crazy. Okay. And then also, what about new construction? Can we do the same there?
Absolutely. I would walk right up to the contractor. In fact, I've done this a few times. I'll see a contractor on Instagram and they're like, yeah, I'm building this house in Mar Vista. It's a flip. It's going to be awesome. And I'll just DM him. I'm like, hey man, like I was in construction for a while. Can I come by the property? Now that I'm in real estate, I'd love to take a look at what you're doing. Maybe I could even take a look at the bid set, see what the finished product is going to look like. Also, can I make a little video for my followers on my Instagram? And they're like, yeah, sure. Come on over. And then when I was at the property construction site, I was like, hey, have you ever thought of like listing with somebody new? I've noticed that like 3 or 4 of your previous projects were sold by this person, but I'd really love an opportunity to have a sit down to discuss, the differences in our marketing strategies. And sure enough, we did, but he stuck with them because of loyalties, but whatever. But yeah, absolutely. You can do anything you want, frankly, as long as you are asking permission from the seller or the listing agent.
Okay, thank you for that. Because yeah, my mentor told me no, but okay.
Who's your mentor?
Do I have to say?
No, you don't. It's okay.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah, that's not true though. If you get permission from the listing agent, you're 100% allowed to do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that I don't understand. If it's a listed property on the MLS, and you're not reaching out to the owner directly, and you're just asking the listing agent, can I, take a video of this and say this is listed by X, Y, and Z. So for example, my dear friend, Terry Steinbeck and former mentor of Rodeo Realty. If she had a listing and I walked into her listing and I said, hey, Terry, I'm going to take a little video. You mind if I put it on my Instagram? She would say, of course, you don't even have to ask. But anyway, even then, if I went on my Instagram, I said, oh my gosh, I'm with Terry Steinbeck. This is her new listing. I just wanted to go on, the website and ask if there's any of my friends out there who would like to take a look at this house. I'm looking for some buyers, give me a call. You're 100% allowed to do that because you're not acting as if it's your listing. You are already identifying that it's somebody else's listing. There is a slight caveat somewhere out there that says that that you should. I think the caveat is you need to ask for permission, or that you also need to like write in who the listing agent is. But yeah, that's totally fine. I'm confused by that, and I might be wrong. I could be wrong. And you can have your mentor reach out to me and they can correct me.
Can I say something?
Yeah, of course.
So
anybody can say anything at any time, by the by. I love
just trying to right now create a content calendar myself for my social media platforms. And I kind of have that mentality where I have to kind of fake it till I make it. So Kristen Tull, she has a listed property that she allowed me to put on my page just for aesthetics, a luxury property. And I didn't put anything as far as, contact me or contact Kristen. I just put the photos that she has on MLS, and I put the exact information that she had for the description, and that was kind of it. So I guess like if anybody ever was interested, and they would, inbox me or message me, and then I would just kind of direct them to Kristen. And she didn't have an issue with that at all.
Okay, cool. And see, that's the thing. My mentor told me I cannot use any pictures from MLS.
Well, I think as long as you get them from the agent,
permission?
or you get permission, then.
Okay.
So your mentor is half right on that. You can't use any pictures from the MLS unless you have express permission from the person who, either the photographer or the listing agent. Now that we're going to get into like some weeds over there about that. So just point is, if you have permission, and especially if it's in writing, you can use it. That's not a problem. But
okay,
they are correct in that you can't use pictures from the MLS if you don't have permission. If you don't have permission, you're not supposed to use it, because there's technically a copyright law, and actually the person who owns those pictures is the photographer. It's actually not even the listing agent. The listing agent has permission to use those, express permission to use those pictures from the photographer.
okay.
Now, if the photographer gave the listing agent rights, then the listing agent has rights to the pictures. Anyway, I know it's a little bit convoluted, but I had an issue with that recently, where somebody was threatening to sue me, and it was very annoying. So I do know what the stipulations are, but my point is though, is if you ask for permission, you're fine. If
Then
you
I'm
don't,
good. Okay.
don't ask for permission, you can't use it. But there's another thing. You can absolutely walk in front of a house and take a video of it and say, this house is gorgeous and it's for sale. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all, actually. So I'm a little confused as to that.
Yeah, because she told me to go to she told me I had to go check out a couple of properties and use my super key. She wanted to show me how to use the super key to get in. So I thought, okay, well, I will go to the properties, we'll use the super key, and I'll record while I'm there and say, hey, this is a nice property, da 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 da. And she told me I couldn't do that. And I'm like, I see realtors do it all the time. I'm like, there's one girl I follow all the time. She's like, well, does she say preview on property or does she say showing? She's like, there's a difference. And I'm like, she doesn't really specify, but she does it every day. Like, oh, I'm viewing this property.
Yeah, that's interesting. Look up the Louvet Group Instagram. They do that every single day, and they're awesome. And they've never been sued for anything weird, but they do that all the time. In fact, one of the biggest agents, oh God, what's her name? I totally forgot. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, they were into this really gorgeous property in Bel Air, and they were just doing a home preview. And it's not even listed for sale. They just wanted to show off the beautiful architecture. So there's anyway, we're getting into this, the weeds of things, but technically speaking, if it's somebody else's listing, you should say, I'm previewing a property for my buyer.
Okay.
And, then you're totally in the clear. Technically speaking, you would want to say listed by blah 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 blah, if you really want to be accurate.
Okay.
But no one's gonna go after you for that.
Yeah, she had me scared. So I was like, okay, no, I won't be doing that.
Don't be scared. You're fine.
Okay. Thank you.
And have them call me, and I'll talk to them. I'm sure whoever your mentor is just looking out for you, and they're probably right in some way or another. But I wouldn't be too scared about that, frankly. Now I have a feeling I'm gonna get an angry call now. Whoever it is, I love you. I'm sorry.
Nah.
Cool. Awesome. All righty. Was that pretty much everybody? Nope. We got a couple other people. Jana, I don't know if I have you. I'm really good at remembering new names, but forgetting old ones. Jana, are you on? You might be on mute. Going once for Jana. or Hannah. I don't know. Jana? Nope. Going twice? Okay. Anastasia,
Hi, how are you?
I am great. How are you?
I am good. I still didn't call, but I reached out to all my contacts and I had two potential buyers and one buyer with who I can book now because she's ready to buy in a couple months, like with showing maybe like next 3-4 months. And also I have like couple potential clients for New York because like some of my friends they move into New York and two of my friends and I know they're looking to buy in the future as well. So I'm thinking maybe I should get like my license expired, but maybe I should get licensed in New York as well, or just maybe find somebody who can work with them and just ask for referral fee.
Were you the one who we were talking about, the friends who were driving you nuts last time?
Yes.
I like it.
Yeah,
That's
it was me.
I love it. You're gonna get them. I have a feeling they'll come crawling. But good job, absolutely. Okay, is Jana back? Jana, no. Okay, all righty, very good. So awesome, everybody. Thank you so much for reporting. That took a lot longer than that should have, but we have a good attendance today, so that's awesome. So let's go ahead and get into it. I actually need to bring up the material for today. So today, KWU, hold on, give me a minute while I pull all this up. Does anybody have any questions from last class? Awesome. So finding your business. So we were talking about somebody, I forget who it was today. They were talking about how do I find people, and stuff like that. This is the class for you. We're going to go over that today. I'm going to go ahead and put this material in the chat box so you can follow along with me as I'm reading through these chapters. Today it's only 45 pages. We should be able to zoom through this in no time. Hopefully we'll be done in the next hour and a half. Something like that. So we'll be able to get out there and kick butt and take names. All righty. So, oops, I did my thing is covering that. There we go. Okay. So I'm putting this in the chat. And remember, if you need luxury doors, Cornell is going to hook you up for half price. I'm kidding. Okay, so everybody, if you go into the chat box, I just put in the link to today's material. Go ahead, take a second, bring it up, and we're off and running. So finding your business. This class is all about prospecting and lead generation. We want to always be prospecting. What are some ways that we can prospect even when we're not door knocking, we're not cold calling, but we're just out and about? How can we prospect by doing just running daily errands?
Social media, maybe like when you're running an errand in the area you're in, you can do like a lot of hashtags. You can tag friends or reach out to friends or things like that.
Totally. And you know what? I don't know if Austin is still on this call. I know he's picking up his car. And he might think I sound crazy when I say this, but there used to be this thing that we used to do before social media happened. It was talking to people. So I want us to get in the habit of actually talking to people in public and in person and introducing ourselves and just being like, hey, I'm Jared. I overheard you talking about something. Just want to let you know I'm actually a real estate agent. Do you have any questions? How many times have you been out and about and you hear two people talking and they're like, well, I was talking to my real estate agent and what? Have you ever heard that? Like somebody just mentioned real estate while you're out and about, maybe when restaurants were open, somebody sitting next to you at a restaurant, or maybe you're on a hike, or maybe you are just walking your dog. Have you ever heard somebody just mention real estate? I have all the time, frankly. And I think, yes. Has anybody ever heard of that, like the power of suggestion? For example, like if I say, oh, I just got a brand new Jaguar XE, which is the car that I drive. It's not brand new, but a year old now. But And then you're like, wait, I've never seen that car before. And then all of a sudden you see that car, and then you go out and about in your day, and then you see that car everywhere. And you see like, oh my gosh, my neighbor actually has that car. Oh my gosh, this person who parks next to me at work has that car. Has that ever happened to you? Sure. So my whole point is try to think about that on your day-to-day when you're interacting with people. I know it's a little hard right now because it's pandemic, but eventually this will end. So keep in mind when you're out and about at the grocery store and you're stuck in line, feel free to just turn around and be like, well, this is fun. Just make convo, just make a comment, crack a joke, and then start talking with the person and go, how's your day going? They're like, oh, it's going well. Like, great. Yeah. Do you work in the area? Yeah, actually, I work in Beverly Hills over in blah, 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 blah. How about you? And they're just trying to be polite. And you go, well, yeah, I do as well. I'm in real estate. And they go, oh, real estate. How's the market going? I promise you, they're going to say that. How is the market going? And when that happens, that's your opportunity to tell them how amazing the market is. And for you to go, have you ever thought of buying or selling? And so my point is you always have opportunities to lead generate. You just have to look for it and be a little bit proactive about it. Okay. Going down into the fun stuff. Today's expectations for the cappers in training. We are all cappers in training here. Find your business, prospect and lead generate using multiple methods, connect with potential clients, obtain referrals. That's big time. Love it. So we're going to get into all that in a second. All right. So right now is typically if we were in class together, I would break us all off into teams and we would all get our phones out and start calling people. But luckily for you, I won't force us all to do that right now, because if we did and all these people were on different, calls, it would be overwhelming for all of us with all the noise. So let's not do that right now, but let's go ahead and work on a couple of these scripts. Use scripts that you learn in lesson 1 and 2. Okay, great. So this one is a fun script. I'll go ahead and read it just for the interest of time. And I don't remember the last time I read this one, so pardon me if I kind of flub, mess up a little bit. But okay. Hi, I'm going to pretend I'm talking to George. George, how about you want to role play this with me? I think you're on mute. Oh, there we go. Well, I muted you on accident. There we go.
There you go.
All righty. So
what page are we?
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. We are on page 9.
9.
So George, you'll be the person I'm calling. Don't worry, you don't have to read. You just have to respond as if we're on a normal phone call.
Okay.
You want to answer, and we'll take it from there. Hi, George. My name is Jared Medlinski, and I'm with Keller Williams Realty. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good. And you?
I'm really good. Sun's shining. I went on a hike this morning. It was great. But listen, I wanted to call you because your name was given to me by a close friend of ours, Justin, and he said that I should give you a call. Is right now a good time to talk for a couple minutes?
Oh, yeah, Justin. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Yeah. So excellent. So Justin said that you were thinking about buying a house in the next 6 months. He asked if I could please give you a call. Him and I both want to make certain that you are in great hands and that you have the very best. So that's why I'm calling, because I'm the best.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, since everybody likes to know what houses are selling for, I'd like to share you with my real estate. I'd like to share with you my real estate app. You can see what's going on anywhere in the United States from your street all the way. I already said that. It's free. There's no cost. And I can send a text to you. Does that sound good?
Yes, that sounds pretty good.
Awesome. So have you seen anything that you like so far?
Yeah, I was looking at Zillow for quite some time, but nothing that I liked so far.
Great. The one thing that I hate about Zillow is you never know who you're calling. So for example, if you've ever done this, you call about a property and you find out it's just some agent who has nothing to do with it. So the good thing about this, when you have my app, anything that you see, you can go ahead and send me a message immediately. In fact, if you like it, it'll send me a notification right away. So I'll be able to prepare for your call. Sounds pretty cool, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So real quick, George, are you working with any other agents currently?
No agent so far.
Awesome. Sounds pretty great. Well, I think the next step for us is to get together. I can answer all of your questions and explain how the entire process works. It'll only take about 20 minutes. Can we meet today, or would tomorrow be better for you?
I don't know. I don't know if I wanted to buy that fast. I'm not sure about that.
I totally know what you mean. Here's the fun part. What we're going to discuss is just the basics of what to expect in the buying process. So even if you're not ready to buy for another 6 months, even to a year, I always recommend that knowledge is power. And by having just a quick convo, just to see where you're at in the process, I think would probably help you a lot. Because in my opinion, when I first bought a house, it was very, very confusing. I didn't know what to expect. And I kind of put everything off until the last minute, and it was just overwhelming. So this way you kind of have a heads up of what to expect. How's that sound?
That sounds good, but we're not going to have any commitment, correct?
No commitment. In fact, we can do it over Zoom. I just like to see who I'm talking to, have a face-to-face. And the great thing about Zoom is we can do that anywhere.
That sounds good.
Awesome. So let's schedule it in for you today. How about 3 o'clock? Does that work?
Does work. That worked pretty good.
Awesome. Do you want to do Zoom, or you want to try to get coffee? Maybe go for a walk somewhere or something like that.
Let's drink a coffee. That's fine.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so I'll see you at 3 o'clock today. Boom. So that script, this is actually one of my favorite scripts, and you can use this script for even cold calling, frankly. You don't have to do the whole, my friend told me to give you a call. You can just go, hi, my name is Jared Medlinsky. I'm with Keller Williams, Beverly Hills. I'm sorry, I have to leave. No worries, Cornell. Have a great one. Cornell sent me a message privately. So everybody, feel free just to send it to the entire group if you write me a message, just so I don't sound like a crazy person randomly talking to people. So very cool. So if I were going to do this script and I was just cold calling somebody, I would simply do this. So George, let's role play this again one more time.
All right.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, is this George?
Yes, it's me.
Hey, George. Sorry, I know this is out of the blue. I actually got your number through one of your neighbors, and I wanted to give you a call and see if you were interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate.
Actually, I was interested to sell my property, but I don't know how that works.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to help. So the reason why I called is, I'm a local agent here in Beverly Hills, and I wanted to set up a time for us to really connect and go over the exact process that you just said. Would today or tomorrow work for you? Only takes about 20 minutes.
Tomorrow is fine.
Great. Is 2 o'clock or 4 o'clock p.m. better?
2 o'clock.
Perfect. I'll put you down for 2 o'clock. And because of the pandemic, I want to ask, do you feel comfortable with me coming to your home? I can have an N95 mask on, gloves, booties, the whole shebang. But that way I'll be able to actually walk through your home and really get a good idea of what your home looks like. Because I think it's just too important of a conversation to have, just over Zoom.
Yes, I prefer in person.
Perfect. I agree. Well, George, I look forward to meeting you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And if you have any questions for me, I'd like to ask, do you have any specific questions you'd like to go over tomorrow?
For now, no. I just want to understand how the process of selling works and what do I need to do to that happen.
Awesome. Well, the good thing is you just need to talk to me and I'll take care of the rest. So
Nice.
We'll go over your goals. We'll go over your what you're looking for exactly. And we'll get this wrapped up for you in no time. So I look forward to meeting with you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And until then, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
You too. Cheers. So the point is what I'm doing right there is I'm using some aspects of this script and I'm just tailor making it to a cold calling application. So this is a great script just to use, especially if you're cold calling. Be more direct about it. When we're calling our friends, we're going to kind of be a little bit more, conversational. So if I was calling a friend of mine, I'd be like, for example, George is a friend of mine. I'd call him, hey, George, how's your day going?
Pretty good. And you, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. You know, I was actually on a hike and I was thinking about you. I know that you're working at, was it Nordstrom's?
Yes, yes, I'm still there.
Awesome. I really want to get a new suit. What's the doing that?
Well, just come over. We just have some sale right now. Some Hugo Boss for 300, some Teddy Bakers for 400. You can come over anytime.
I like Hugo. You know, it fell off a little bit, but for 300, you know, I like the
It's a
quality.
good deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I might be seeing you later, George. So, George, you know, before I come over, because I do want to do that, have you thought maybe you or somebody you know is interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate?
Not in the top of my mind right now, but I will make sure that I keep my ears open just to, and I can give some reference to you, refer to you, basically.
Yeah, no worries. Hey, how about you? Have you ever thought of buying?
I thought about buying, but I don't know. This market looks strange and maybe it's too expensive.
You know, George, I will say this. When things look strange, there are oftentimes really, really great opportunities out there. So let's have, when I meet with you over at Nordstrom's, first of all, let's figure out what suit I'm going to get, because I really appreciate your expert advice on that. But while you're giving me expert advice in suits, maybe I can give you some expert advice in real estate. It'll be fun.
That sounds good.
All righty, man. I'll see you. Actually, I'm going to probably come by later today, and we'll have a quick chat. And hopefully I'll look better than the way I came in.
Very good. Yes, definitely. No problem.
Cool, man. I'll talk to you later. So what I'm trying to show is that cold calling your friends, it's a little bit more conversational. You're just having a combo with a friend of yours. So it shouldn't be nerve wracking. You just want to come off as genuine, sincere, and then throw in a little bit of real estate and see where it goes. So good stuff. Okay. Thank you, George. That was awesome.
You're welcome. No problem. Actually, I have a question really quick. I just did something and it actually was in the middle of this call. So one person is one lead that I have asked me to reach out the property manager of one condo because she thinks that somebody out there is selling. So I reached out the property manager and the property manager told me that nobody's selling right now. There was a person that was selling, but they took it out of the market. So it is possible for me to ask her a phone number of that person, or is not ethical from her to give her a phone number?
It's totally ethical. Maybe not for her to do that, but it's ethical for you to ask for the number.
Oh yeah.
And ethical versus illegal are, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Not necessarily one and the same. So as we can tell with our current president, oh my gosh, he drives me nuts. Sorry. So obviously, you know, great example. Donald Trump does a lot of things that are not ethical, but we find out it's kind of legal, and it's a lot of loopholes in our system.
That's true.
So I'm not saying I like the guy, but he's given me a lot of things to think about as far as what's okay to do in real estate. We always want to be ethical, by the by. Just to be very clear, we always want to maintain good ethics, because if we're not acting ethical, and it could come back and bite us in the end. So we want to be ethical. For example, today I had an opportunity to go ahead and switch my title rep because this person could perform quicker. There's a very specific thing. I have a client who's out of the country. There's apparently a way that you can get a notary done, but it has to be done through a different state. And then the state has to submit it to our county. Los Angeles County does not accept virtual notaries when somebody's out of the country. So the loophole is that the office, if they have an office in Nevada, you can do it through Nevada and then submit the grant deed to Los Angeles through Nevada. I've never done it before, but anyway, my point is, because I felt it was unethical for me to just go ahead and kick my title rep off of the deal, I said, listen, I'm going to give you, the next 24 hours to figure out if your office is able to do this. If you are, you get the deal. If you're not, it's business. The buyer's going to, walk away if we don't close this thing in the next week. So I want to maintain, good business ethics with these people and give them an opportunity. So we always want to maintain good ethics because, our reputation stays with us for life. So just to be clear. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into boom, 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 boom. Who wants to elect themselves to read New to Real Estate? We've done this script before. It should be easy.
I can do it.
All right, George. I'll be the person you're calling. Start with a ring, ring.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello, this is Jared.
Hi, Jared. Do you have a moment?
Yeah, sure. Who's this?
Hi, this is George Gaspar from with Keller Williams Realty or Keller Williams Beverly Hills. I would like to share exciting news that I became a real estate agent here in Los Angeles.
Awesome.
With this a new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me. Plus, my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I know you would be someone to help me grow my business.
Sure, absolutely.
Nice, nice. First, I'd like to share my real estate app with you. You can see what's going on anywhere from your street to any place in North America. It is free. There's no cost to you. I can send you a text so you can link to it. Does that sound good?
That sounds so good. Awesome.
Nice, nice. And I'd like to ask, who might you know from work or neighborhood or group of do you belong to who's interested in buying or selling or investing in real estate? Do you know anybody?
Yeah, my cousin Adam, I think he's thinking of selling his house.
Nice, nice. And you think you can maybe give me the phone number of Alan? I can just have a quick conversation with him. Would it be a problem?
No, I think that would be great. His number is 1234567.
Nice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Do you have anybody else right now, or that's pretty much it?
No, that's all I can think of right now.
That's no problem. Thank you for sharing his phone number. I'll make sure that I call him. And I have a wealth interest in timely information about real estate market in your area, and I would love to send you to you. Let me make sure I have your current email and address. Do you mind if I have your email and address?
Yeah, sure. It's blah, 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 blah.
Nice. And do me a huge favor. Please, if you do hear of someone with a real estate need, will you keep me in mind?
Absolutely, George. 100%.
Great. Great, great. And after you download the app and try it out, send me a text and let me know how it works if you like it. Okay?
Will do. I love it.
Thank you for your time, your help. Please let me know if there's anything that I can help, and I will be glad to hear from you.
Awesome. Very good, George. That was great. Okay. Let's see. I think there's another one. So let's do remind them you're in real estate. And I'm just gonna pick somebody. Who's SK? Serena, Saren. Yeah. Is SK there? No. All right, moving on to the next. Grace, how about you?
Hi.
Hey, Grace.
Okay, hey. Hello. This is Grace. Do you have a moment?
Sure, Grace. What's up?
Hi. It's been a while, and I'd like to apologize for not staying in touch. I've been busy growing my real estate business and working with great clients like you. I wanted to share with you that I have a personal goal to help 10 families to get into homes for their dreams this year. As you already know, I've do whatever it takes to help people. I count on you to help me to reach my goals.
100%. I'm happy to.
Great. First, I like to share my real estate app with you. You can see what's going on anywhere from your streets to any place in North America, and it's totally free. There's no cost to you, and I can send you to text so you can link into it. Does that sound good?
Well, you said my favorite price, which is free, so absolutely.
Great. And I like to ask, who might you know from work, your neighborhood or group that you belong to, who's interested in buying or selling a home or interested in real estate?
Yeah, I can't think of anybody right now, but yeah, I'll certainly mention you if I know of somebody.
Oh, thanks for taking the moment to think about it. I have wealth of interesting and timely information about the real estate market in your area, and I'd love to send it to you. Let me make sure I have your current email and address.
Sure. My email is blankety blank and my address is 123 Main Street.
Oh, great. And do me a favor, please do, if you do hear someone with real estate needs, will you keep me in mind?
100%.
Great. And after you download the app, try it and send me a text and let me know how you like it.
Awesome, will do.
Thank you for your time and help. And please let me know if there's anything I could do for you.
Awesome. Good job, Grace. That was awesome. So, these scripts are great. As I always say, scripts to me, what I like to refer them to as are conversation parameters. So what do I mean by that? I want us to look at scripts as something that we want to go ahead and study them as much as possible, so we don't even have to read them. And then when we're doing them and we're on the phone, we just kind of use it as like a parameter of where we want the conversation to go. So for example, Grace, if we were doing the script and the person started talking about football for 30 minutes, the reason why scripts are so great is I can kind of use that as a placeholder. So let's say, for example, I go, Grace, my goal is to help 10 families this year to get into the home of their dreams. As you already know, I'll do whatever it takes to help my clients, my friends or clients. Does that sound good? And then all of a sudden you go, yeah, that sounds good. I wish Jared Goff would do whatever it takes in football and finally get some more touchdowns. And they start going on and on and on about football. And I'm like, haha, that's great. That's awesome. But meanwhile, I have, first I'd like to share my real estate app with you highlighted on my script. And so I'm listening to them talk about something. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm talking back and forth. And I'm like, hey, listen, you know what? Actually, I got to get going pretty soon. Let's get on the phone again and talk about the Rams or the Chargers. I forget which team he's on. But before we get going, I'd like to share my real estate app with you. So you can see what real estate app with you. You can see you can see what's going on anywhere in the country from down the street all across North America. It's free. There's no cost to you. Can I send you a text so you can link to it? And they go, sure, great. And I'd also like to ask if you know anybody, and I go down the script from there. So the point is though, is now whenever I do cold calling, I don't really use the script that much. I just kind of have like bullet notes on my like piece of paper that I'm writing notes on. And so when we're having a convo and the conversation kind of goes off track, I just like put my hand on the last bullet point that we left off on. So something that I like to do, for example, Grace, if we can, are you still there, Grace?
Yeah.
Perfect. Let's do the same script again. Hold on, I need to get a tissue. I'm a little stuffy. I went on a run earlier and there's a lot of pollen, so I'm a little stuffy. 1 second. Oh, that's better. I can breathe. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this one more time. Excuse me while I blow my nose. And you might notice that if you're reading along on the script, I'm not really going to be reading the entire script. All righty. So ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, Grace?
Yes.
Hey, Grace, it's Jared. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Listen, I apologize for not staying in touch. The year's been crazy, but because of the whole pandemic, I figured this would be a good opportunity to reach out and reconnect with all my friends and past clients.
Cool.
Cool. Listen, this year, because it's been so nuts, I made a goal for myself. I want to close 10 transactions and help 10 people, 10 different families finding the home of their dreams. How does that sound to you? Do you think you know anybody who you could refer me to?
I think so. I have a couple of friends and families that wanting to invest in real
Sure.
estate. So
You know what type of investments that they're looking into, like multifamily, like maybe a duplex, or what are you thinking?
like a duplex.
Awesome, awesome. Well, listen, before I get their information, I got this brand new app that we just developed with Keller Williams. We put over $1 billion into the system. Yeah, with a B, not an M. So I'd like to send it to you. It's free. It costs no money. And you can see pretty much any single house from your street all across North America. How does that sound?
Sounds great.
Awesome. I'd like to also ask you, like you were just mentioning, who do you know from work, from whatever, that might be interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate?
I have a neighbor that wants to buy.
What's their name again?
Smith family, the Smiths.
I'm writing down the
Right,
Smith.
yeah.
Great, awesome. And the Smiths, and they're your neighbor, so I know the address because I sold you the house. Okay. And what is their number? I don't have to say that you gave me their number, but I'd love to just proactively reach out to them.
It's 555-5555.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll give them a call. And do you want me to let them know that you sent me, or I'll just say I got it from you?
Yes, for sure. You could say that I sent you.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, listen, in the meantime, I have a wealth of interesting and timely information about the real estate market. So I just want to make sure that if I send you anything that might be pertinent to you, I have your current email address, and your address, I'm assuming, is still the same.
Yeah, it's still the same.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you so much. The squirrel keeps popping up in my window and it scares the crap out of me every single time. Sorry. Sorry about that. I know we're on a phone call, but if I could show you, I'd show you. Anyway, so listen, Grace, do me a favor. I know that you already gave me a number, but if you think of anybody, maybe this afternoon you go, oh gosh, my other friend is thinking about buying. Please feel free to send them my way, or send me a text message with their information. I'm happy to reach.
Okay, will do.
Awesome. Well, listen, I don't want to keep you for too long, but thank you for your time and help. And also, please let me know how you like the real estate app that I send over to you. And we'll go from there. How's that sound?
Sounds great.
Awesome. Well, have a great one. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
So I maybe looked at the script twice, in the entire thing. But I'm able to do that because I've read it like 100 times. I stand in front of the mirror and I practice it. And I always like to akin it to whenever you see an amazing actor or actress, get an award for something they did. The reason why they're so good in those roles is, one, they're great actors and actresses, but two, it's because they study the script constantly. And they also get direction from a director, but they also try to imagine themselves in that situation. How would I respond if I was this person? How would I sound? And they really practice it thoroughly. So that way, when they're in the middle of it, they don't even have to look at the script any longer. So I urge everybody to imagine yourselves as a award-winning, actor or actress. I believe the word actor is interchangeable now, so whatever. But just imagine yourself as an actor, and just try to learn the scripts like that. Awesome. Good job, Grace. Thank you so much, George. And let's rock and roll. Okay, moving down the page, we're on page 12 now. I want everybody to get in the habit of writing handwritten notes. And feel free to chime in, anybody. How do you feel when you receive a handwritten note in the mail just saying hi, or how you been, or whatever? Does it feel good? Like it feels a little bit better than receiving an email? Does it feel better than receiving a direct message on Instagram? Anybody?
I've never received a letter like that, so I wouldn't know.
So David, if I wrote
Me
you a letter-
neither.
Yeah. All right. So that's even more to my point. So if all of a sudden you received a letter from me being like, David, I just wanted to personally reach out and let you know I really appreciate your contribution in the Ignite classes. I look forward to watching you create a brilliant career in real estate, and just want to let you know I think you got it in you. Would you be like, wow, dude, this guy Jared like actually took the time to write me a handwritten letter and put it in the mail? Like, that's pretty considerate.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, 100%. So that's my point. We want to be those people. We want to be that person who goes out of our way to write a letter to somebody. And sure, it might be about real estate, but it doesn't matter. They're still getting a letter in the mail, handwritten by somebody. There's a little bit more weight to it. There's a little more gravity to something like that. You can see the pen strokes. You can see how they write, how they sign their name. It's just so much more personal. I remember whenever I would receive a letter, I can almost see the personality of the person in their handwriting. It's kind of beautiful in a sense. So get in the habit of doing that, y'all. I think it'll help big time. Okay, so for example, here are some handwritten notes that we could copy and use. Talk about being really, really, really personal. But for example, if you know somebody, you've already met this person, or you, for example, this is somebody that you were doing your daily 10-4 with. You gave them a call, you wanted to have a little convo with them, you're trying to get contacts, and you had a great conversation about real estate. That's right when you get off that phone, pull out your stationery, put it on your paper, or even have it ready right next to you, and go, okay, awesome, I'm getting off the phone. Well, thank you so much, John Doe, or I don't want to say John, that sounds like a Law and Order episode. Thank you so much, Mr. Smith. It was really great talking to you. Right when I hang up that phone, I'm pulling out my stationery and I'm writing, Dear Mr. Smith, thank you for taking the time for chatting with me today. It was great to catch up with you and let you know what I've been up to in my business. I'm thrilled to be with Keller Williams Realty, and I'm available to you at any time to be an asset and a resource to you, your family, and close friends. Please call me whenever you have a question or a need comes up. I'll stay in touch. I appreciate you and wish you all the best. Jared Medlinski. That person is going to be like, wow, what a nice letter. That is so sweet. And I throw my business card in the letter that I send them, and they're just thrilled to have it. Now, this can also work for somebody who was referred to you. So let's say your friend tells you to call their Aunt Tilly somewhere. You can easily do the exact same thing. You talk to your friend's aunt and you say, Dear Aunt whatever, thank you for taking the time to chat with me today. It was great getting to know you, and I look forward to helping you. Please know that I'm available to you at any time to be an asset and a resource to you and your family and your friends. Please call me whenever you have a question or a need comes up. I'll stay in touch. Wish you all the best. So the point is you can use pretty much both of these letters are almost identical. One is just you've met somebody before. The other one is a referral. I highly recommend doing this. It is very, very powerful. And in fact, what I like to do is I'll write, thank you for taking the time with me today. I thought it was so fun that we were talking about kayaking. Because whenever you're talking to somebody, you get into a bit of a off conversation about something else. Throw that into the letter. Make them know that you were thinking about them and you really actually enjoyed the conversation that you had with them. That helps to build rapport. It allows them to realize that you are actually paying attention and that they matter to you. So a little something that we can add into our lead generation game, so to speak. Okay, great. So we're talking about cold calling. We also went over writing handwritten notes. These are great ways to follow up. So right now, I want to go into a couple more things. Get your head in the game. If I can have David, since we spoke last, can you read Get Your Head in the Game and just read the little tiny paragraph right there, right under it?
Yeah, sure. Get your head in the game. In Power Session 2, you committed to build your database and launch your contacts on touch campaigns. To continue to add to your database, you will need to lead generate for additional contacts.
Boom. So what are, let me get this open again. So why is lead generation so important? Or why is active lead generation important? This is open for everybody in the class. So why is active lead generation important? I'm not talking passive stuff where you're kind of just sitting back waiting for people to get to you. Why is it so important that we are actively reaching out to people constantly to lead generate?
I feel like that's our business. That's like the core business of what a real estate agent should be doing.
Boom, 100%. It is. And, you know, whenever we're actively reaching out to people, we're not just relying on luck, frankly. And active lead generation also ensures that not only will you get business quickly, but when done consistently, it also ensures a steady stream of business. Said another way, active lead generation turns the feast or famine cycle that most agents go through and creates a steady upward increase in business. I don't know if you've ever heard of, you know, another agent saying this. If we're new, maybe we haven't. But it's like, oh, I'm so excited to close this transaction, but I don't know where I'm going to find my next deal. Happens all the time. Happens with me sometimes. Even if you are lead generating actively and consistently, you may just have the luck of the draw that 300, you know, person list of numbers you were dialing. Not one of the people are actually interested in selling right now or buying right now, whatever it might be. So even when you're actively lead generation, you might just fall into a little bit of a rut. But if you do it for enough time, you're able to predict, well, out of every 600 people I call, I close one deal. So maybe I called 300 people, but now I know that, well, hold on, those first 300 didn't want to buy or sell, but I got 300 more people that I could contact. And I know that since I've been doing this for 5 years now, that eventually I'm going to come across somebody who's interested in selling. So now it is a predictive business that I can actually, you know, focus on. So that's why we like to do active lead generation. Also, okay, what do you think is different about lead generation of successful agents compared to not so successful agents? I think I have it right on the screen for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So the difference between successful and not so successful agents is that successful agents make lead generation a daily habit. Set out to master the skills, systems, and tools of lead generation. If you do it every single day, you are going to eventually find that there is a very, very mathematical equation that you can almost apply to lead generation. If I contact this amount of people, I get this amount of leads. If I follow up with this amount of leads, I get this amount of closings. And that's the whole name of this game, is to try to figure out what those numbers are for you. And then eventually try to see how you can improve on those numbers. And oftentimes it's just like a little tiny tweak. So on this next page that I have us looking at on 14, make it happen, lead generation, it's job number 1. This is my favorite little diagram or pictogram that we have. You want to get as many leads as possible. You want to make that funnel real big. And the more leads you get, the more appointments you get, the more appointments you get, the more agreements you get, and the more agreements you get, the more contracts, the more contracts, the more money that you make. So let's make sure that lead generation is number 1. It all starts with lead generation. So keep that in mind, y'all. Okay. Benefits of prospecting. So what are some of the benefits of prospecting?
You could use it as a good way to network, like not just for your own real estate needs, but for, you know, potential future clients' needs or even your own sometimes.
100%. I can't tell you how many times I've had a situation where somebody sells doors for a living, and just because I had a quick conversation with them, next time I sell a house and they're like, oh gosh, I like the house, but the front door is so ugly, and all the doors on the inside are like these really cheap Home Depot doors. I wish I knew somebody who specialized in doors. Well, Cornell, who's in our class today, sells doors. So, lead generation is totally great for that. You find new people, you meet new people, you expand your database, you're able to connect people with one another, 100%. So some of the stuff that the book says is the benefits of prospecting is it's inexpensive and it yields immediate results, puts you in control of filling your pipeline of leads, increases your confidence and skill, yields quantity of leads, which yields to quality leads, keeps you in direct contact with the market, and protects you against market shifts. Why are these benefits important to both new agents and tenured agents? Well, it's mainly because of what we were discussing before. Even if you're an experienced agent and you're doing a lot of deals all the time, it's very, very easy for you to just hyper focus on what you have in escrow. Unless you set out a time every single day that you get on the phone and lead generate. And by doing that, you're able to fill your pipeline full of enough leads that even if your escrow closes, you're still in conversation with other people, because you're constantly making that a daily habit. So it's really important to do that. Okay, a couple myths. Prospecting equals annoying people, which equals rejection, which a lot of people are very scared of that, especially in this class. But the truth of the matter is prospecting equals meeting more people and building purposeful business relationships, which will equate to a strong real estate business, 100%. Okay, the 4 C's of prospecting. Prospecting is a conversation. It's all about creating the kind of personal connections that will lead to purposeful relationships you can build a business on. You make prospecting happen through 4 simple steps: capture, connect, cultivate, and then close. Or you might have somebody who's ready to go immediately and you're able to close right away. But the whole point is we want to capture their information and we want to input it into some form of a CRM. Sounds kind of like part of our daily 10-4, right? We want to connect with them. We want to make sure that we're constantly reaching out to them, which also sounds kind of like our daily 10-4. We want to cultivate. We want to put them on some type of system that we can constantly stay in direct contact with these people. Also sounds exactly like our daily 10-4. And then ideally we want to close deals. That's not part of our daily 10-4, but that's what we're all here for. So definitely do it. It's great stuff. Okay. Moving on down. I'm going to skip a couple pages. Okay, connecting questions. So this is important to me because this allows you to have a reference of what you should be asking with people. If I could have Ari Salinas.
Yes.
What's up, buddy? Let's do the connecting questions. If you can read these questions from left to right, all the way down to how do you plan to do this? And it's on page 18. That would be awesome.
All right, so connecting questions, get deals to add your database. If you would please tell me a little bit about your family, job, life, etc. Who? And then assess their wants, needs, and plans. What are you looking for? What do you want to do? So the what's. Pinpoint their location. Where would you like to be? Where is your home located? So the where. Determine their motivation. Why are you moving? Get a feel for their timeline. When would you like to do this? So the when. Assess their expectations. How do you plan to do this? The how.
Love it. So yeah, we really want to know these questions. I mean, this is pretty basic stuff. I think we learned about the who, what, where, when, why, when, yeah, who, what, where, why, when, and how when we were like in first grade. These are all very important stuff that we like to know whenever we're asking questions. But it's very important for us in real estate as well. So why do you think that's important for asking who? It's important, frankly, because you want to be able to add little notes. And that's part of building rapport. You want to know who, what is this about? What's your family like? What's your living situation? What are, your interactions on a daily basis? And by knowing these questions, the who, what, where, why, when, and how, it helps you to build rapport. It makes the other person feel like you actually care about them. And we should, frankly, we're helping them with one of the most stressful and meaningful purchases in somebody or sale of their life. So very important stuff. Okay. So these are some fun ones. The close. Closing is a process of asking for business. Connecting is crucial, but unless you get their business, you won't be able to make any money. Many agents are successful at connecting with people. It's the asking for business that is so challenging. Yep, 100%. I have to agree with that. An appointment with them, your goal for the call is to close at least one of the following: an appointment with them, a referral from them, a reciprocal connection with them. So some of these closes, if I could have, Angela, are you available?
Not really, not right now. I'm eating. Sorry, I'm eating my lunch.
All righty, sounds
I'm
good.
listening though.
Sounds great. Okay, Anastasia.
Yeah.
All righty. If you can read the hard close all the way down to number 10, so 1 through 10.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
The hard close. Let's meet. The soft close. Can we meet today, or would tomorrow be better? The indirect clause. Would it be okay if I got your information to look over and then we can meet to discuss? The trial clause. I think I would agree that we have gone over enough today. That meeting would be our next step. The assumptive clause. It sounds like we should meet. I'm available most times this week. So what works best for you? The negative positive clause. Would you be offended if I ask if we can meet to go over this? The take back clause. I have really enjoyed visiting with you. To be honest, I'm not sure if I can be help or not, but I would be honored if we could meet to find out. The tie down clause. Wouldn't it make sense for us to meet in the next day or so? The alternative choice clause. What works better for you? Meeting today, sometime this afternoon, or tomorrow morning?
Perfect. So which is your favorite one, Anastasia?
The soft close.
Nice. I've really enjoyed visiting with you. When would you like to get together to discuss further? I love
Yes.
it. That's great. I personally like the take back close. And I'll tell you why I like that one. It takes the pressure off of them. It sounds just like you're just being helpful and in a kind of a weird way. So I really enjoyed visiting with you. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure if I can help or not, but I would be honored if we would have an ability to meet up and find out. I like that one when I'm cold calling, or if somebody's a little bit like all over the place, like, oh, I don't know, maybe, I like using that one for some reason. It just seems to work a little bit better. I don't know. One thing that I like to say, I always like to equate real estate to dating. If I'm trying to ask a girl out on a date or something, she's like, I don't know, maybe she's totally out of my league, something like that. I don't know if you're my type. I don't know. And, listen, I don't know if you're my type either. But the only way we're going to find out if we hang out, have a cup of coffee, and have a conversation. Smart work for you? It works. I don't know why, but it does. And the same is applicable to real estate. Sometimes people are a little bit wary of you, especially when you're cold calling. It's like, I don't know who you are. Like, why are you calling me? And you're trying to sell my house? Like, I don't want to move. And it's like, hey, listen, I don't want you to move if you don't want to move. But if I have some information that might help you out, maybe it would work. How does tomorrow work for you? So I really like that one. But for everybody and everybody's personality, one might work better than the other. And I have to leave. Thank you so much. No worries, SK. Have a great one. So the point is, all of these are going to be different for everybody. Pick the one that kind of works for your personality and give it a whirl. Awesome. Thank you, Anastasia, for reading. Okay, cultivate. So this is just going over why it's so important to make sure we have a CRM that we're actively using. We have these things that are set up in our command that are so amazing because it allows us to stay in touch with people without even putting any effort into it. It's automatic, it's systematized. And why is that so important? Well, I think it's really important because when you, for example, just this last month, I had 4 escrows going at the same time, almost 5. I realized we closed one day before the month, but anyway, it was very, very time consuming for me because I just had a lot of things going on. I don't have an assistant. And that said, I knew that there are people who want to either buy or sell in the spring. And by putting them on these campaigns, it allows me to stay in contact with them over the course of time, especially when I'm busy, because now it's just on autopilot. And, the stuff that I send out, oftentimes they're just like holiday things and they're preset and they're going to be sent on a specific day that I've already decided it will send on this day, a couple days before the holiday and, whatever. And these are just really effective ways to keep in touch with people when you're already busy doing other things. And that's why I love these things. And I highly recommend playing around with it. Okay. So our sphere of influence, oftentimes we look at our sphere of influence as if it's just like, oh gosh, I only hang out with like 3 or 4 people on a regular basis, or I only have like, a real, close group of friends. Maybe there's like 10 or 20 of them in it, whatever it is for you. Keep in mind that all of those people also know other people. So this little pictogram is a really great representation of that. Right here in the middle is you, it's a nice star. You have your spouse or your partner who also has, different friends and family and whatever. You have your personal friends, you have relatives, you have neighbors, you have your immediate family. You also have your dentist, you also have a mortgage company. You have KW agents outside of your market. You have social media networks, banker, doctor, your kids' teachers, title company, church members, mail carrier, mechanic, kids' friends, parents, hairstylists, past coworkers, and frankly, all those people have friends and other family members and all that stuff. So keep in mind, while we might be thinking of our sphere of influence as just our immediate friends, we actually probably have a lot more than we can than we really even think about. And so I oftentimes will recommend that you take the time to just sit down and write a list. So here's all my friends, done. Here's all my family members, done. Here's all my doctors, done. Here's all my service providers, done. Here's all the restaurants that I like to go to and all the managers who happen to work there and all the waiters who happen to work there, done. And when all of a sudden you're said and done with that big list that I'm talking about, you're going to realize that you really have, maybe even 100 to 200 people that you could be reaching out to for business. So good stuff. Okay. So this just kind of goes over more things that I was referring to just now. Time blocking is very important. We want to prepare, take action, and maintain. We want to prepare, prep a call list, say affirmations, and focus on our big why. If we do our power sessions with Josh every Monday and Wednesday, we do our affirmations. We want to practice scripts. Again, like I said, think of yourself as an actor or an actress, practicing scripts until you can't get it wrong. Action. We want to prospect, update our database, or take action, not time action, excuse me. We want to prospect, we want to update our database. Maintain, we want to track our results, schedule commitments, write thank you notes. All righty, so I'm going to put on a video real quick. And after the video, we'll probably be done after a couple more pages. Oh, there's one more video after this one. So finding more leads. So this is going to be a great video for all of us to take a look at. Here we go.
Lead generation is your #1 job. You have started by calling your Mets, your sphere of influence. You have even reached out via social media. But what do you do when you run out of contacts? Where can you find more leads? There are many places you can find additional prospecting opportunities. Think about your children's sporting events or activities. And don't forget about your own organizations and clubs. Your children's school or PTA would be an excellent source for contacts, as well as your place of worship. Even your mechanic. They rely on referrals for their business just like you do. Using these and other sources for prospecting opportunities will lead to more contacts and referrals that will grow your business. More contacts and referrals will lead to more appointments, listings, and closings. This will help you meet and exceed your goals.
Awesome. And I just got the best email I could ever hope for. Okay. All right. What am I doing? How do I get this off now? Okay. So what are some of our ahas with that little video that we just watched just now? If we don't have a discussion, I'm just going to start reading more, and I know we all probably love that.
It's kind of just bringing it up in, you know, the everyday things that you do. Like if you go to Starbucks every day, like you said, you know, just throwing like a little random comment to somebody and then eventually bring up that you're in real estate. Like I mentioned, you know, like if you have kids, you can go to their football games and, you know, you have a whole crowd of, you know, prospects sitting right in front of you or that you're sitting around. So
100%. And, you know, David, what are some things that you could think of off the top of your head that might, you know, yield the similar kind of results? You know, some people that you may have not thought of earlier, but could work.
Well, just recently, I think it was on Saturday, I went to go play basketball for the first time since last March. And there was like, you know, 25 people there. And I noticed after that I did not mention it once. So I was like, you know, that's 25, you know, adults that, you know, could possibly be thinking about buying, especially right now that, you know, the real estate market is kind of like the big conversation.
Nice. I love it. 100%, man. You know, when I go hiking sometimes, I think it's weird to like strike up conversation with people, especially for hiking, because it's not a team sport, really. It's a pretty independent activity. Hold on. This person has called me like 3 or 4 times today. So this is a fun thing. It's a lease of mine, I believe. Hold on 1 second. Hello, this is Jared.
Hi, Jared. Is the 3-bedroom still available?
Hi, yes. We've done most of our showings already. We're going to do another round of showings on Wednesday. Have you had an opportunity to see it yet, or this is the first time you're calling?
First time calling.
Okay, perfect. So what we're doing right now is we're going to go ahead and do a couple showings on Wednesday, but I would highly recommend, we have a few applications that are out right now. We're probably going to review all the applications on Friday to make a decision.
Okay.
So I would recommend sending me your email so I can at least send you the application. And then if you wanted to go see it on Wednesday, that would be great.
Oh yeah, perfect. I can give it to you if you want me to text it to you or give it to you now.
Yeah, just go ahead and text it to me, and also what time you're available for Wednesday. Or if you wanted to, I have it on a lockbox. And if you felt comfortable enough sending me like a photocopy of your ID or something, I can give you the code to the lockbox.
Oh yeah, that's no problem.
Okay, cool, perfect. So if you want to do that, just go ahead and send it to me, and I'll text you the code. And just let me know what day and time you'd want to swing by, and I'm happy to do that.
Oh, that's hello.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, okay. I thought the phone was I'm sorry. Okay, that's no problem. I'm most definitely gonna do that now.
Awesome, sweet. And your name was again?
Nicole.
Nicole. Awesome, Nicole. Well, I'll look forward to seeing your text, and remember to say what day and time, and I'll go ahead and shoot you over the code.
Okay, no problem. Thank you, Jared.
All righty, take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
So again, like I said, when you're dealing with leases, you got to make it systematized. I'm going to send her a PEAD form and all of that to her email, and she's going to go ahead, and I have the key in a readily available location for her to open up and take a look at it. So anyway, little lesson there. So very good, David, 100%. But like I was saying before, when I go hiking, I've heard people talking about real estate. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to bring, business cards with me on my next hike. So if I hear somebody mention it, I'm going to go, hey, by the way, I'm in real estate. And I heard you were talking about real estate. And if you need a great agent, here's my card. So 100%. Basketball would be great. Other stuff would be great as well. Can anybody else think of anything awesome? Awesome. Okay, so what I'm going to do again right now is I'm going to play another video. This is my favorite video in all of Ignite. That's saying something. This one really was eye-opening for me when I first took this class, and especially when I first started teaching this class. So this next one is a brothers who are real estate agents who formed a team together. And they go over their journey of starting real estate and what really made it so successful for them. So all the new agents, all the experienced agents, I highly recommend taking a real good listen to this, and let's discuss what we think after the video's over. All right.
Cool. So I'll say where we're from, and then you give production levels. Is that all right? Hi, my name is Dylan Provencher. I'm Sean Provencher. We're from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. We're the Real Estate Brothers. 2014, we wrote 72 transactions for $47 million. Sean and I are very lucky because we're actually fairly entrepreneurial in sales. So we were able to just sort of survive by luck and by just sort of being likable and nice. We had a decent business that wasn't growing. We did a lot of door knocking originally, but what we found was with bad weather, plus you have to drive to door knock, it was just too much of a wild card. If we were to grow the business, we needed to add people to our database. And if we were going to do that, we needed a systematic way that we knew we could achieve results that were predictable. So we just kind of started cold calling about 3 hours a day. And we found that the results were phenomenal. Come take a look where we've been this whole time. You can literally do it from your kitchen. It's just more time effective. Yeah. If you're cheap like we are, you don't want to spend a ton of money on the web or in print. Telephone lines, you pay a monthly bill and you can call all you want. Why don't you come in here and show you the cold calling room? We've got a map where we've broken the entire city into zones. We like to target areas where we have buyers. It's been scrubbed to the do not call list, and it still represents over 250,000 phone numbers. All of our desks have 3 monitors. We have Mojo in the middle. We have our scripts on the right. And then on the left, do some research on the house they're calling for, stuff like that. Cold calling is like adding jet fuel to your car or something. Like it pumps your business up. We went from making, what was our first year? Like 70K. And then this year together we did $1.1 million. So this is Sean calling from the Real Estate Brothers. You know what? I'm so sorry to bug you today, but I just noticed that you have to treat cold calling as though it's an appointment. If you don't prioritize it, things will always find their way in and block you from being able to do it. And it's the most important thing you can do for your business. Absolutely most important. And you have to quantify it as well. The bold 100 contacts a week is a really, really cool way to set a bar and get started and stick to it. Whatever your decision is. I was just wondering, has anything changed in your plans? Are you still thinking this great to get it on the market? You can't think today was a bad cold calling day because today doesn't matter. What matters is what you accomplish in a year. And if you just keep adding people to your database and systematically follow up with them and take care of the people who you work for, you'll do great. You're not always going to have great success every day, but it's by doing it every day that you have great success. We're going to be in the neighborhood for the next 2 weeks giving free evaluations. You know what I'd love to do? I'll say too that one thing that we were afraid of And I think everyone is just the rejection side of things. People being mean to you on the phone and rude. We have this saying with our team that you're either part of our future or part of our past. And either way, it's fine. The people who are rude to us are obviously not going to be part of our future.
Have a chuckle about it. Like, honestly, when someone cusses at me or something, I just laugh because it's funny.
Do you think that it might make sense for us to book something tentatively for the weekend?
The more time you spend not on the phone, you're losing money because that 3 hours of my day is my 20% where I make my money.
Don't get ready to start thinking about how you're going to eventually do something. Just do it. Like, just
do
get
it.
Done.
Stop watching this video. Get off your butt and go start dialing numbers and talking to people. Just get on the phone.
Yeah, and if you hate money, don't do it.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, I love that video. It's so true. It's so great. It's amazing. So what are some ahas that we had from that? And we're going to break right after this video, and we'll be done for the day until Wednesday. But before we go, what are some things that we noticed in this video that stood out to us?
I loved how they are extremely methodic about their job of calling, and all, even on their computers, their notes on the wall, everything is registered. I don't know if that's the correct word, but every call, it is opportunity for them. And even their attitude against the call is different. So it's always belonged to us, even though that we receive rejection, but it's our job. And they can, and as they said, it's 3 hours of 20%, is 20% of their business. 3 hours is how they get the money. But I love how they are professional. They have everything write it down. They have their computer, their Mojo dialer right there. It's super nice. Very, very encouraging.
100%. What I also love about it, and maybe you noticed that maybe you didn't, these guys made $550,000 a piece that year, not last year. They probably made a lot more this year. But this was what, in 2014 or something like that? They both made, they said 1.1 million between the two of them. So that's $550,000. And they work in a rinky dinky like office that frankly, if you drove by it, wouldn't be very impressive. I mean, just to go back to the video, real quick, I'll try to look for it.
Cool. So I'll say where we're from, and it was just too much of a wild card.
If we were to grow the business, we need predictable. So
results were phenomenal.
Come take a look where we've been this whole time.
Like, look at that.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Looks like a motel.
It looks like a motel. And maybe it was a motel, frankly. So what I'm trying to make is, forget about your business card. Forget about your car. You know, I need a nice car to sell, you know, real estate. Forget about, you know, I mean, yeah, they're wearing suits and stuff like that, which I do think is important to be presentable to some degree. But my point is they don't need the fancy office and the view of Beverly Hills and, you know, all this, you know, stuff, because none of that affects your business. The one thing that affects your business is being proactive and getting after it. And it really is, you know, eye-opening because, you know, we live in LA. Image, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, plays a big part in our society in Los Angeles. I think it's silly, frankly. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I can tell you right now, some of the most successful people that I've ever met in this city walk around in, you know, beat up, raggedy old tennis shoes, and maybe they put on a collared polo shirt with some jeans. I mean, I'm serious. I mean, they don't put that much effort into all of that, but, you know, they're multimillionaires. You know, my uncle, Marty, I don't know how much he's worth, but they own quite a few. They've started selling their properties because they're, you know, 90 and in their 80s respectively. And they just don't need, you know, homes all over the East Coast. But the point that I'm trying to make is they've had the same Subaru Outback that probably has 400,000 miles on it. And he's one of the top lawyers in, you know, the Connecticut area. In fact, probably the East Coast. So the point that I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter, you know, the nice shiny object is not what's going to get you the business. What's going to get you the business is putting in sweat equity. And what I mean by that is you don't need the best marketing campaign that you're paying for. You don't need to buy Zillow. You don't need a virtual assistant. What you really need is a drive and the ability to set out, time block portions of your day to pick up the phone and either text message people, call people, whatever it might be. But obviously I recommend calling, and these gentlemen do as well, is picking up the phone and talking to people on a daily basis about real estate. I'm fortunate enough like them that, I'm likable enough, I guess, that, I get a lot of referral business. But just like what they said, if I want my business to grow to that next level, somebody I just had a quick conversation with, I need to be able to put them in a systematized CRM so I can continuously follow up with them throughout the year. And that's really going to help build my business. And I think it'll help build yours as well. So with that said, is there any last questions before we go for the day? Is there anything, any ahas that we had that we go, oh, I didn't really think of it that way? Or are we good?
I'll chime in for a little bit. What the big aha from that video was kind of like, when you start prospecting or cold calling, you're so focused on that end result of that day or how you're going to do that day, but it's not about the single day of prospecting. It's how many days, consistently can you do it for a year? And it's kind of like an accumulation. If you could have 5 bad days in a row, but the 6th day is like the day where you're just on fire. So, bad days shouldn't really affect you. It's what you do in the whole entire year.
Absolutely.
That kind of like, it was kind of mind blowing right now.
Yeah. And I think, remember when I said, and I didn't put it as eloquently as you did or they did, frankly, you could call 300 people and get 0 leads. But if you do it for a period of time over a year and you divide all the people that you called that year and how many of those people you actually close something on, you'll see that number is actually a lot smaller than you think. So you might have a dry spell for a month or so, frankly, in this business. I hope not. But you could, getting 0 leads for an entire month, but you're trying every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day. I don't think that will happen. If you're doing it every single day, you probably get results in a week, frankly. But let's just say it takes an entire month and you've called 1,000 people. If you still took that over the course of the year, you'd find out that your average is probably closer to a week, to get a new lead. So keep in mind that when we're cold calling, we might have a bad day. We could have a bad week. We could have a bad month. But over the course of time, we'll notice that in reality, the averages are much smaller than we realize. So get out there and do the work, and I promise you'll be surprised at the end results. So very good. Thank you for making that point, David. That's spot on, 100%. All righty. Are we done? Are we good? Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns? Awesome. Well, everybody, I want to thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I love teaching these classes because it not only helps me, but I like to, help new agents and get out there, have fun while you're doing it. Remember, if you have a bad situation where you reach out to an old friend or you're cold calling and you don't get the result that you were hoping for, brush it off, make a joke about it, laugh about it. In fact, every single time you get cussed out, I hear of agents who they create like a basketball hoop above like a trash can. And when somebody cusses them out, they, rip up like the number and throw it away in the trash can. And they make like a big, thing about it. Or, I even know some agents who like to drink a little bit while they're cold calling. And anytime they get a hang up, that's another, half shot or something like that. I don't recommend doing that because getting drunk while you're cold calling is not good. But, you could do something fun, that works for you, because frankly, if it becomes fun, you're probably more likely to continue doing it. And yeah, so on that note, I hope everybody has a great rest of their Monday. Try to get out there. I want to see everybody's numbers bump up a little bit by Wednesday, and get out there, go get them. And I hope you have a great rest of your couple days until we reconvene on Wednesday.
Thanks, Jared. We'll see you.
Bud. Cheers,
Thank you,
y'all.
Jared. See you. Thank you.
Feel free to reach out anytime. You can find me on Instagram at Jared Meddy with an I. And have a great one, y'all.
Thank you. All right.